Good morning, students. मैं रामपाल प्रजापत from electrical department in SPIT Dosa. Dear students, for today class, our subject is circuit analysis and our topic is Norton and superposition theorem. First, we discuss on Norton theorem. What is Norton's theorem? Norton's theorem is also a method of solving the network problems. Statement of Norton's theorem is a linear active bilateral network consisting of independent or dependent voltage or current source can be replaced by an equivalent circuit consisting of a current source in parallel with a resistance. There are some terms like as linear, active, bilateral, dependent and independent source. So first we discuss on these terms. First is linear. What is linear element? Linear elements in network are those elements whose response is directly proportional to excitation. It means when excitation increases, the response also increases in the same proportion. For example, such as resistance, inductance and capacitance. Active elements. Active elements in the network are those elements which deliver energy. So, these elements are such as voltage source, current source, battery, etc. Third is bilateral elements. Bilateral elements are those elements whose response is independent of direction of excitation. It means response of these elements does not depend on the direction of excitation. And next term is dependent source. Dependent sources are those sources whose value depends on the branch parameter of the network, and independent sources are those sources whose value is independent of other parameters of the branch or network. So the statement of Norton theorem is simply a linear active bilateral network is replaced by an equivalent circuit which has a current source with parallel resistance. Next is the current source being short circuit current across the load terminals and resistance being the internal resistance of the source. It means the value of current source is obtained by shorting the load terminals, and resistance of the network is the internal resistance of the source network. There are some steps to solve network problem using Norton's theorem. First step is remove the load resistance and find the internal resistance of the source network. It means we have to find R internal or internal resistance of the source network. So first of all we have to remove the load resistance from the given network. Second step is sort the load terminal as find and short circuit current flowing through the sorted load terminals using conventional method. It means to find the value of short circuit current or source current. So we have to sort the load terminals of the given network, and then we have to find the value of current IFC by any conventional method. Conventional methods are such as KCL, KVL, nodal analysis and mesh analysis. These are the conventional methods. Step 3 is Norton equivalent circuit is drawn by keeping R internal in parallel to ISC. In third step, we will draw Norton's equivalent circuit which has a current source of ISC and a parallel resistance of Rin. Step 4. Reconnect the load resistance RL across the load terminals and current through IL is given by IL is equal to ISC Rin upon Rin plus RL. It means in last step we will connect load resistance in parallel to R internal and we have to find the value of current IL using current division rule. What is the current division rule? According to current division rule, if we have to divide the value of current in two parallel branches which have a resistance of R1 and R2, we want to find the value of current in R1. So we will find current as total current of the source into parallel branch of that branch, that is R2. It means we have to find the value of current in R1. So total current of source into R2 upon R1 plus R2. Similarly here IL is ISC into R internal upon R internal plus RL. Now the given network show Norton equivalent circuit in which a linear active bilateral network is converted into Norton equivalent circuit which has a current source of ISC, a parallel resistance of RL and a load resistance of RL as shown in figure. Now we take an example to understand the Norton's theorem. In the given example, find the current through 3 ohm resistance by Norton's theorem. So, in the given network there are two sources. One is 24 volt and second is 12 volt. There are 3 branches and resistance connected are 6 ohm, 1 ohm and 3 ohm. We have to find the value of current in 3 ohm. So first of all we will remove the resistance of 3 ohm from the network and we find R internal. So to find the value of R internal, we replace both the voltage source by their internal resistance, means these voltage sources are short circuited as shown in next figure. In the given figure, R internal across point AB is parallel of 6 ohm and 1 ohm. So the value of Rin is 6 into 1 upon 6 plus 1, that is 0.857 ohm. In step 2, we want to find the value of ISC or short circuit current. So we know that point A and B both are equipotential points because there is no element in this branch. So the value of IS or ISC is the sum of I1 plus I2, where I1 is due to source 24 volt and I2 is due to source of 12 volt. So the IN is I1 plus I2, that is 24 upon 6 plus 12 upon 1. So the value of IN is 16 ampere. Now we draw Norton equivalent circuit. As shown in figure, Norton's equivalent circuit consists of a 6 ampere current source and a parallel resistance of 0.857 ohm. Now in this next step, we reattach the load resistance in the network across point AB, and we want to find the value of current IL in the 3 ohm resistance. So there are 3 branches in parallel. One branch consists of a current source of 16 ampere, and second branch consists of a Rin of 0.857 ohm, and third branch is load branch, that is 3 ohm. So using current division rule, the value of current in 3 ohm resistance is IL is equal to Rn Rs upon Rn plus RL. So IL is 16 into 0.857 upon total resistance. So the value of IN is 3.55 ampere. Now we take a second example. In this example, find Norton equivalent circuit of the given across terminal XY of the given network. So to find Norton equivalent circuit, similarly we have to find ISC and Rin, internal resistance of the source. So to find the value of ISC, first of all we short circuit the terminal X and Y as shown in figure. Now we want to find the value of current ISC in the given network. So in the given network there are also 3 branches which are in parallel. One branch consists of a current source of 10 ampere and 2 branches consist of a resistance of 5 ohm and 10 ohm. So ISC is the current flowing in 5 ohm resistance. So the value of ISC using current division rule, that is 10 into 10 upon 10 plus 5. So the value of ISC is 6.67 ampere. Now in next step we have to find Rin. To find the value of R internal, we remove current source from the network and its terminals are open as shown in figure. Now the Rin is the series combination of 5 ohm and 10 ohm. So the value of Rin is 10 plus 5, that is 15 ohm. Now the Norton equivalent circuit consists of a current source of 6.67 ampere and an internal resistance of 15 ohm as shown in figure. Now the second method is superposition theorem. Superposition theorem is also a method of solving network problems. So step of superposition theorem, statement of superposition theorem is, if a number of voltage or current sources are acting simultaneously in a linear network, the resultant current in any branch is the algebraic sum of the currents that would be produced in it. Remember that superposition theorem is applicable in linear network only, and statement is a network consisting of 2 or more than 2 sources, and we have to find the value of current in any branch of the network. Then first of all we have to consider only one source in the network and other sources are replaced by their internal resistance. It means a voltage source is replaced as short circuit and a current source is replaced as open circuit, and we find the value of current in that branch. These steps are applicable for each source, and in final stage the total current or net current in the branch is the algebraic sum of all the currents obtained in each step. Now, when each source acts as alone, replacing all other independent sources by their internal resistance. Now there are some steps to solve network problem. First step is take only one independent source and deactivate the other independent sources. It means in the given network we have only one source and other sources are replaced by their internal resistance as before discussed. In second step, for voltage source, remove the source and short circuit the respective circuit terminals. It means in the network, if other sources are voltage source, then we have to remove that source and terminals are shorted. In third step, for current source, remove the source and respective terminals are open. It means if other sources are current source, then we have to remove that source and its terminals are kept open. In step 4, repeat the above step for each of the independent source. Means these steps are applicable for each source. In step 5, to determine the net branch current, add the current obtained in each step. If currents obtained are in same direction, just add. If current in any step is obtained opposite, subtract it. It means when we find net current, then net current is the algebraic sum of all the currents obtained in each step. So currents are added of the same direction. It means if the currents are in same direction, then the currents are added. If any current is flowing in opposite direction, that current will be subtracted. Procedure for applying superposition theorem. In the given circuit given figure, it is shown that a voltage source of E voltage replaced as short circuit and a current source is replaced as open circuit. Now we take an example to understand superposition theorem. In the given example, find the value of current in R ohm resistance. So there are two voltage sources of V1 volt and V2 ohm volt and a resistance of R ohm. Now we want to find the value of current in R ohm. So according to superposition theorem, we will kept only one source at a time. So first we have a voltage source of V1 in the network and V2 is replaced as short circuit. Now the value of current in R due to voltage source of V1 is V1 upon R, that is in clockwise direction. Similarly, in step 2, we sort the V1 and we want to find the value of current I2 due to source V2. So the value of current I2 is V2 upon R. But according to polarity, the value of current I2 is minus V2 upon R. So the net current in R ohm is I1 plus I2, that is V1 upon R minus V2 upon R. Now we take an example to understand this theorem. In the given example, find the value of current in 2 ohm resistance. So first of all, we see that there are two sources in the given network. One is a current source of 1 ampere and second is a voltage source of 1 volt. So according to procedure, first we remove current source from the circuit and we find the value of current I1 due to source of 1 volt in 2 ohm resistance. Now we look that in the given network there are 3 branches. One branch consists of a voltage source of 1 volt. In second branch there is a resistance of 3 ohm, and in third branch two resistance 2 ohm and 1 ohm are connected in series but are in parallel to source. So the resistance branches are in parallel to 1 volt source. So directly we can find the value of current I1. So I1 will be V1 V upon R, where R is 2 plus 1 ohm. So the value of current I1 is 1 upon 3 ampere, which is in anti-clockwise direction. Now in step 2, we remove voltage source from the given network, means its terminals are shorted, and we keep current source in the network, and we want to find the value of current in 2 ohm resistance. We see that when we short the terminals, then the 3 ohm branch is removed from the circuit because there is no role of 3 ohm branch because its terminals are shorted. So this branch is removed. Now the simplified network consists of 2 loops. Now the value of current in 2 ohm, that is I2, and we have to find the value of current I2. So the value of current I2 using current division rule, that is 1 into 1 upon 1 plus 2 ohm. So the value of current I2 is 1 upon 3 ampere. Remember that this current is in clockwise direction and I1 is in anti-clockwise direction. So the net current in 2 ohm resistance is I1 minus I2, that is I is equal to 1 upon 3 minus 1/3. So that is 0 ampere. Now we take another example. In the next question, find the value of current in 5 ohm resistance using superposition theorem. In this network, there are two sources. One is voltage source of 10 volt and a current source of 1 ampere and a resistance branch of 5 ohm. So according to procedure, we keep only one source in the network. So first we remove voltage source from the circuit and current source is shown in the network. So the value of current IA or I1 in 5 ohm resistance is equal to 0 ampere because 5 ohm is branch is shorted. So the value in 5 ohm resistance is 0 ampere. Now in step 2, we calculate the value of current I2 due to voltage source of 10 volt. In the given network, current source is replaced as open circuit as shown in figure. So then in given network, there is a voltage source of 10 volt and a resistance of 5 ohm. So according to KVL, the value of current in 5 ohm is V upon R, that is 10 upon 2, that is 10 upon 5 is equal to 2 ampere. So the net current in 5 ohm resistance is the sum of I1 plus I2, where I1 is 0 ampere and I2 is 2 ampere. So the net current in the network is 2 ampere. This is the procedure of superposition theorem. Thank you dear students for today's class. Comment for any query